Yo, this Don Flacco Trellion kicking off the first episode of Do You Believe Me podcast. I got LP up in here with me tonight. Say what up.
What's up, people?
Hey, Nuff, I got a question. In 2009, you said you was going through something. What was going on with that?
Yeah, but it is a family member of mine. I left, Mississippi where I was at, you know what I mean? Because I was getting in a lot of shit down there. I went to court and I was finna get tried as an adult, but the judge told me.
Hold on, what happened for them to try you as an adult?
Shit, man, getting a whole bunch of shit, guns, drugs, breaking in houses, whatever I can get my hands on to make a living down there, shit.
Wild and young, huh?
I had to, down south it ain't shit for nobody,
Okay, so. Victim of circumstance, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, after that or whatever, the judge told my mom, either he got to get out of the state of Mississippi or we finna slam his ass down, so she contacted my family member who was up north, you know what I mean, and asked can I come and stay with him. And they was like, yeah, he can come on and stay. Just to find out when I get my ass up there, motherfuckers finna move out of their own crib. Ain't tell me shit, my mama shit or nothing.
That's a cold lick there,
boy. Cold motherfucker piece. And then told me at the end of the day that they was finna move. And until they can find out what they new landlord is like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna have to go find somewhere to do.
Why couldn't you go with them?
Shit, I guess they felt like, hey, I just couldn't go with it. I wasn't part of the family to get in.
You weren't causing no problems?
Shit, no, I just got there.
Okay.
I just got that shit. So, I mean, like I said, I came up there to make a better life. That person knew the type of history I had down south. So you thought that person be the first to be like, okay, you up here, let me try to help him make a better life for himself because I know what he's been through. You know what I mean? So shit, but hey.
What type of effect that shit have on you? Did it make you cold or did it make you have some kind of disdain?
Overall, that type of shit, that experience of shit, I feel like it did something good, but it did something bad. You know what I mean? The good, I feel like it made me wiser 100 years from where I'm at now. Reason being, you know what I mean? It's a lot of circumstances that I was put in that I shouldn't have been put in as a kid, but I had to adapt.
I don't want to get too personal, but I have to narrate the story for everybody else that then went through something. Your grandma and y'all relationship, don't go too deep into it, but what had happened with that at that time?
Shit, she was one of the people when I was at court, you know what I'm saying? Got in some more shit when I went up north, when my family member left me hanging, so I got in some more shit or whatnot. They located some family of mine who was my grandma, you know what I'm saying? The judge once again pleaded with somebody, take this young man off the street, if you can give me a word that you'll take me in and shelter me and try to help guide me.
He'll let me go out that jail.
He'll let me go home. But motherfuckers never being in my life at all. You know what I'm saying? They first thing was to say, lock that nigga up. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, at that moment, because I always looked at my grandma and my granddad as heroes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I ever spoke on anybody's name, it'd be theirs and it'd be highly. You know how most kids, when they're young, they be like, Superman to come in and save me, Spider-Man.
Right.
Mine was my grandma and my granddad.
See, my situation was a little different. I was always getting my ass whooped when I was young, right?
Right.
And then I had caught a pistol case in 95. I was like 13 years old. And my dad was like, boy, stop getting in trouble because these people gonna put you somewhere where I can't help you, right?
Right.
And I never took heed to what he was saying until I started getting in trouble and the justice system had more control over our household and what went on with me than my own dad did.
Right.
So here, I thought he was a hero and he was going to come to save the day, and they showed me different when they put me in that human warehouse.
But yeah, so, with that being said, though, shit, what I look at it is, shit, be happy you had somebody that even gave a damn to even guide you down that path.
I ain't gonna say your grandma didn't give a damn because she was a loving person.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was out there on drugs and study getting locked up most of my life, right?
Right.
So Helen, which became my dad's wife, which is your grandma, played a pivotal part in raising me. But my experience ain't your experience.
Right.
She helped me become the man I am today. I ain't gonna say she was perfect, but she helped guide me and show me through life.
Yeah, but before I get back to it, like I was saying though, to me, at some point, if we don't do our kids right, I feel like, I feel like we fucked up. Them grandkids, they love them some grandma, some granddad, papas, and mom, memas, or you know what I'm saying? So it's a different feel. Like us, we probably miss our grandmas and granddads and shit like that. You know what I mean? So that's a real important part of the tree. You know what I'm saying? Like huge. And my mama
and
cutting up.
It takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah, so
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So if the village wasn't even raised right, then get that out ain't gonna be.
We all
right.
damaged goods.
Yeah.
Now around that time, I had just got out of prison after doing 5.5 years for whipping my daughter.
Right.
Life don't come with a manual on how to do things. Only people give input on what you could do. Sometimes what you should do. That don't mean it's right. Don't mean it's wrong. It just means it's advice.
Right.
In the Bible, it say, spare the rod for the seed, right?
Right.
So what happened with her was she was staying the night over the house and she wanted to stay up. By her being my child and my responsibility, I'm like, stay up in here with me. But my grandma and my cousin was over there, 2 females, and she wanted to stay with them.
Right.
But she wasn't conducting herself right. She out there jumping on the bed, being loud. My grandma just had bypass surgery and she was doing the most.
Mm-hmm.
So first I talked to her, you gotta cool out. You doing too much, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She didn't listen. Then I said, I want to be up in there with them. I let her go back up in there with them. Then she go back up in there with them and get to jumping on the bed. And my grandma, oh, my heart, she gonna make me have another heart attack. And I done had 3 conversations with her, right?
Right.
So I brought her up into the bedroom. I said, baby, I'm about to whoop. You know what I'm whooping you for, right? She said, no. I said, because you being bad and you wouldn't listen.
Right.
Do you know her mom called the police on me and they gave me reckless discipline of a child? But if I was one of those fathers that didn't try to take care of my kid or try to discipline my kid, and then she would have grew up wild and unruly, I'd have been held accountable for that. Yeah. So it was a lose-lose situation.
Right, but how I feel is, being born as a black man, we already perceived that way. And you know what I'm saying? We can't do nothing too much to disappoint them. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be a father of our kids, that's a huge disappointment to them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them feel like they gotta remind us what's our place and shit like that.
What you mean by what's our place?
Well, shit, I'm from Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of, racism shit still go on down there. You know what I mean? You can go down there and see outhousing.
I'm big on culture, right. But at the same time, I think what we speaking about supersede or rape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because white people go through it in rural areas. Chinese people go through it. Mexicans and Latinos go through it.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody go through it. But believe it or not, us as this skin tone right here, we go through it the work. You get what I'm saying? I mean, you could try to argue down, if you look up statistics.
From observation, you can say that.
Or from my observation, I'm going to say that. And I had a hell of an observation. Seeing is fact. You know what I'm saying? It ain't what I think.
Seeing is just seeing.
Yeah, but it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't what I think. It is, once again, it's my experience. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, like, if this white man did the same shit you did, will he get the same time you got? You think so?
Nah, especially where I was at up in Madison, Wisconsin, right? They said the disparity level on the justice side was disproportionate to the point that a black person would be something like 20 or 30% more likely to go to jail for something that a white person would get probation for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And per capita, they had the most black people locked. That's a fact, according to statistics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know every black person situation, so all I can go off of is statistics.
Right.
So I agree with you.
So yeah, that's all I was saying though. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had a time, you know, with my ex-wife or whatever. DHS. You know, they stepped in like it wasn't no negligence or shit going on. They decided they want to take her kids on the behalf of what I was out enjoying somebody tried to attack me. I did something to basically stand self-defense for myself. I ain't killing them or nothing. Shot it in the air, warning shot. Now, if I was wrong, then once again, I proved them wrong, just another nigga or some shit like that, whatever. But, you know, I ain't do no shit like that. I gave them a warning shot for people to get away from it and everything like that, you know. And just for that, DHS decided to come in and say, well, they questioned me as a grown-ass man, what am I doing out at 1 a.m?
See, that's what I don't like. It's systemic.
Right.
Section 8 and all that type of stuff, they don't want males staying in the households or got all these requirements for a male to stay up in the household. Then in situations like you saying to where something else in life happened and the circumstances caused you to react a certain way that they didn't agree with, so therefore they trying to break up a happy home. But then again, it come down to it's not in the household trying to role models to lead kids. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I see fully what you're saying. But my thing with that was, you know what I mean, first and foremost, what I did, it ain't had shit to endanger the children. You get what I'm saying? I was defending myself. Yeah, I was out the household, miles away. You know what I'm saying? Shit, at least 15 miles away. You know what I'm saying? Once again, wasn't no trouble in the home. Their job is to make sure that the kids are safe. You know what I'm saying? That there's no harm coming to the kids. Me defending myself ain't causing no harm to kids. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I was irrelevant to the case till they wanted to make me relevant to the case. You get what I mean? So when they took her kids, me seeing the kids who I've been around down there their whole life, me seeing them because I want their biological father was irrelevant. But when it came down to shit that could make the mama case worse, I was relevant then. You get what I mean?
Right.
So with that being said, this woman ain't did shit. Hold on, let me just finish this real quick.
Go ahead.
This woman ain't did shit to really get her kids to. And they put her through so many hoops and shit just to make it a failure at the end. Versus, I done seen this white woman get her 4 kids took for smoking dope like a motherfucker, right? And some way, somehow down the line, they feel like she really rehabilitated herself. She really changed her life around. Even though she was going to some of her drug appointments, she was having mishaps here and there, but they feel like she still was trying.
What you said resonate with me, but for another reason. My daughter, right?
Right.
I love her to death, but we all damaged goods and she irreparable damage, right?
Right.
She said because I've been locked up all this time, and because I had spanked her that one time, that she don't know if she could ever forgive me. And I'm telling her, don't dwell on the past. We living in the present. She trying to remove me from her life, my grandbaby's life, which is her kids. You know what I'm saying? Off of something that happened in the past, and being that I ain't been around like that, and she acknowledged I ain't been around like that, I ain't do too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I did do, when I could do, was buy her shoes and love. And sometimes love is all you got to give.
So I could say I can relate to that. So, you know, my current person I'm with or whatever, right? You know the young fella, right? I don't think I ever told you about this. But, so recently he moved out the household with us, right? You remember, because I had to come stay at granddad's house and shit like that or whatever. But, in the process of all this, when, you know, she took him over to her sister's house or whatever. He started spewing a whole bunch of bullshit, right? Because this is the thing what I learned with kids. The kids today, if they can learn, they can manipulate a situation to make them happy, they gonna do it nonstop. You get what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, son, but I mean, I done seen a good amount of these little motherfuckers, even mine to this day. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, they use just getting their way if they see that it can be manipulated. Prime example, right? He told her, he remember the time I whooped him, right? So let me tell you the instance. Lee Anthony, about 2 or 3 years old, right? Melissa, she was having the baby, whatever. We was in the hospital or whatnot. I had went back to the house to stay. You know what I'm saying? Because I was tired and shit, and I wanted her to get some rest and everything. I had to go to work. He didn't know I was at home. Right? So I got the room door closed, my baby crying for Pop-Tarts and shit, right? So he got mad that he kept crying for him, and he picked him up and put him on the counter and told him grab the Pop-Tarts, right? So he grabbed the Pop-Tart. Now, mind you, the counter probably like 4.5 foot high. You know, maybe higher. You know what I'm saying? So now my baby got his Pop-Tart. Now he crying, want to get down. He telling them, jump, nigga. You want to get the fucking Pop-Tart so bad. Saying it verbatim. Jump, nigga. You want the motherfucking Pop-Tart so bad. Now jump. Now, you know, man, you
talking with a little grease on his lips, ain't he? Talking slick as hell.
Yeah, but that ain't even the point.
And he ain't supposed to be talking to his little brother like that.
That ain't the point, though. This the point. My 2-year-old son jumped off of this counter, fuck around, break his neck, damn near kill himself. You gonna say you don't know what happened, right? Because when I came out to confront you about it, you said you ain't say none of that. When I heard you say the shit, right?
Because you was up.
I was up. I just sat there and watched how it played out. But that's the only way for me to find out what happened closed doors. Because you gonna show your actions when I ain't never around. What you do now, right? So when that happened, I told his ass up. Because like I said, you know you was wrong for this. By me coming out, you said you ain't say none of this, and you knew that was wrong. So with that being said, and also if he did jump off that counter, I probably would have lost one of my children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, maybe he developed the single child type of complex syndrome or some shit.
I ain't gonna say it's that deep. He was just young and mad that he had to put him up there to get a Pop-Tart or going through something and handle it.
I hear you, but
you're supposed to give him the benefit of the doubt, especially after you done whooped his ass anyway.
But at 14 years old, you know better in this world now.
Should.
At 14,
don't mean he do.
I understand what you're saying, but once again, at 14, it's shit like that. I'm gonna say, you know, you shouldn't be doing no shit. Come on, that's common sense. You know what
common
happens.
Sense ain't common sometimes.
Well, sometimes you gotta help him get common. That's what the case was. You feel me? But what he did down the line was tell his people like, he whooped me this time, but once he never told them what was the reason, right? But what he told them was, he whooped me, and when he whooped me, I feel like he left whelps on me or whatever the case may be, right? Now, like you said, where I grew up at, from school to home, discipline was a paddle, a belt, a switch, a extension cord, anything. And I know to some degree, when it happened, it straightened me up some, you know what I'm saying? But the only thing that drove me to other shit was survival instincts. That's the only other thing that made me do
Now, I remember you, right? I ain't trying to put you on blast, but you was about 4 or 5 years old. Y'all was standing on the Magnolia.
Yeah, I remember.
And I came over there. You said, you want to play the game with me? And I said, I'm about to go to the stove. I'll be back. You started crying. I said, don't cry now. I'm be back to play the game with you. And then I came back. We played the game for a minute. But I had to get up out of there. And then I remember you used to run around the mag in front of the house, but you used to be a good, peaceful kid. Mm-hmm. At what age did you start straying off into the streets out of necessity or just out of curiosity?
So when we lived over there, right, even though it was like the hood, you still knew, what type of business was being transpired. You get what I'm saying?
It was a whole lot.
So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had good boosters and shit coming. That game, I'm pretty sure I was playing, that boosters came around and got them a good sound for just a little nothing. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I was being tended to more in life, I'm gonna say. When once again, only child. OG ain't really worrying about money too much. You know what I'm saying? When you up north, it's way more opportunity and resources than when you down south. When we went down south, we went straight to the housing projects. That's the first place.
Yeah, because you had moved when you was like 6 or 7, right? Mm-hmm. And then came back when you was how old?
I was 13. 13, had a baby, and went to jail. That's how that shit played out.
What made you tell that lady purse, Dave?
You know what? I don't even think I actually took a purse. That's the thing about it. I attempted to.
What made you attempt to?
Shit, survival. All I knew was survival. Just because you took me out from down there don't mean the survival still ain't in me. If I'm hungry, shit, I know at this point what I gotta do to eat. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't want to ask your mama, you was tired of asking.
I ain't had no phone. I ain't know how to get in contact with nobody. This when such and such left me and they went their own way, left a 13-year-old to fend for himself in the city.
Oh, it's time to get it then. Right ain't no better than wrong if it ain't working.
Right. So, I mean, at the same time, that's when, my grandma, everybody, they knew I was done, but nobody gave a fuck to check up on me. You know what I mean? So, what do you expect to happen? So, with that being said, you know what I'm saying? The funny shit, it was some Oriental people. Got off the bus there close to the university, down there, whatever. They'd all live in that little area and shit or whatever. But, yeah, man, follow the motherfucker base black like I had to, Lomi and shit, you know what I'm saying? Told me just get it up, goddamn. You know what I mean? And I think what I took from probably like an iPod or some shit like that or whatever. I would say, boy, them police up there quick than the motherfucker. They ain't like down south police.
Got them motherfuckers quick.
Yeah, boy, as soon as I left, them bitches was already on the way. I made it to Allied shit. Them bitches was already there. I said, damn, I can't do that shit here.
Now, I grew up under your dad, right?
Right.
He was older than me. Mm-hmm. Him and Sean. And he used to be out there, but he used to also pay attention and try to nurture you. Where did it go left field with y'all at?
Being asked, you know what I'm saying? The most important times, I learned that. You know what I'm saying?
But in his defense, most of the reason he was absent because he was incarcerated.
Right. But he got out in times in between. You get what I'm saying?
And he didn't reach for you?
Nah. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the only person who really did was Granddad. Man, brand new PlayStation came out. He got it for me when he first got a hold of me. Happy than the motherfucker. It been more than loved and get me anytime, any shit. You know what I'm saying? So, that's one person he couldn't get a hold of. Now, everybody else didn't give a fuck to get a hold of me. It's a difference. You get what I mean? So my grandma was down there talking to Lil Herb, with my other granddad and shit like that, whatever. But it was never mentioning saving me from whatever I was going. You get what I'm saying? But on his behalf, like I said, he was incarcerated. But shit, I mean,
like I said, it take a village to raise a child, and sometimes one person can't do it all, so it ain't on one person just to save you, but it should have been a collective effort, a support system put around you, and a whole bunch of other kids that come from where we come from, so we don't go out to gangs trying to find our own means of support or survival. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm going to put it like this. You're right. One person can't do everything, but we can do our part. That one person definitely can do their part.
It's supposed to do our part.
So you'll be surprised at how much your participation probably could change some shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, down there, it ain't hard to get a hold of. Like everybody from like my grandma right now, that my great-great-grandma, her phone number has been the same probably since 35 years. You get what I'm saying? It's the same phone number certain motherfucker used to call to talk to, granddad or whoever the case may be or whatever like that or whatever. It just, motherfucker didn't want to take the initiative to come and save a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That's just like this one shorty, 09 on Greenway Cross. This dude, he was with this female, she had a son, right?
Right.
And we was out robbing shit. And they like, damn, our son is stealing out of his mom purse.
Mm-hmm.
And they getting mad at him, right? I said he know the value of money. That means he see y'all with this money and y'all ain't giving him none, and he's showing you he wants some, right?
You're right.
So what I did was I told him, hey, look, start being good. They gonna give you an allowance. I'm gonna give you an allowance. I'm gonna put some money on top of their money.
Right.
And then you gonna have a bunch of money for your age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was only like 7 or 8 years old, but at the same time, he knew the value of money and stuff that he wanted. And they was so caught up in what we was doing and the shit that they was wanting, they was neglecting his wants, a need. And at the time, so unfortunately, we all end up getting popped off and going to jail.
All it really was, though, you know what I mean? Like I said, if a motherfucker tried that, you know what I'm saying, then okay. I could be like, you know what I mean, motherfucker at least tried. But, you know, when you a, you know what I'm saying, supposed to be a pillar, you know what I'm saying, and a motherfucker find out. That's why they say, what they say, people say, never meet your hero. Because you'll be disappointed motherfucker, then you won't probably have no hero.
Man, you had broke my heart when you had told me that story we brought up earlier, right?
Right.
And then you said, Unc, I ain't got no coat. I'm just getting out of a Supermax prison.
Right.
I barely ain't got nothing either.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't even have a place to stay.
But you still
I said,
took me in and helped me.
Yeah, you could come over here. If I'm over here, you over here.
So,
and I gave you a coat.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But what else fucked me up was you said, let's go hit us a lick, right? Now, I did robberies and shit. I robbed the people, and then I got to rob an establishment. And you was like, I was like, what we gonna get? You was like, we gonna get some laptops and iPods and shit. And I said, no, nephew, my background, they gonna give us 1 million years if we get caught. And then you done got caught taking a purse. We gotta make sure it's some money up in it so it kinda makes sense.
Right.
Or we can hopefully put some money on our book. That's the thing that I think about back in 09 when you was going through, and I like to say to see from 09 to 2025 which it is now. I like the man you became. You're a devoted father. You know what I'm saying? You got a job. You got your own house now. You don't need to stay with nobody. You got 2 cars. You got yourself established. Not slighting none of the family. But they are relevant to this situation now because you don't need them. You got your own. Right. And that's what I'm proud to see. Right. Because some people would have gave up.
Shit. When them folks sit your ass down, you ain't got nothing but time to think. Think about what you want. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I think when I got locked up, remember I told her I had just got my old lady pregnant. So I don't know. I feel like the sense of having a child made me actually grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like damn, I got something to live for. You know, it gave me a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Some of us need that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even sure if I even had a kid then. What year was that?
That was 09.
She probably was pregnant.
No, you was going through it with Rishi. She was staying in Middleton, remember?
Damn, was it? Yep. So I did have a kid already. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that's when I was already out too. So, like I said, I don't know, man. I think it's just a sense of me really being able to sit down and really notice, you know, what I was failed at in life and what I don't want them to feel failed at in life. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not saying, like you said.
So you're trying to lead by example.
Yeah, you know.
Be a reflection of what you want them to become.
Yeah, because I know how I feel not to have that certain person, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, I ain't had the most, I ain't have the best, but I tried what I could.
In 2010, you had moved up here, and it's over now, so we can speak about it. You was selling a little weed, and I was like, man, you got astronomical numbers. You talk about shit, I only fuck with supreme clientele. How did you make the transition from the street into the field you in now as a hard-working man? And do you feel that the street money was better, or do you feel what you doing now work?
Well, what made me make that transition, because during that time, to be real, I went on fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? I was touching some other shit too, whatever. You know what I mean? So the thing that made me switch up is motherfucker ain't gotta tell me number one time that motherfuckers around this bitch telling I ain't gonna end if I hear that shit, it's over. Hey, I don't, cause you know what I'm saying? For me being locked up so much, I know the shit ain't. I said to myself, listen, if I do go back, it's gonna be over a strike, me protecting my kids or somebody close that I love, or a motherfucker trying to take my life. You get what I'm saying?
Speaking on that, I just fell a victim to that, to where my need to survive outweighed my good intentions. Right. And what I mean by that was I was filling out job applications after job applications, right? And I had a couple factors against me. I had my black skin, had the tattoos on my face, then I had a criminal record, right? I don't do a lot of smiling because my situation ain't no happy-go-lucky situation. Don't mean I'm a bitter person. Just mean it ain't nothing to be smiling and pretending to be joyful about, right? So they quit giving me jobs up here, right? So how do I survive? I keep asking. I'm staying with my dad. I'm old. My dad is doing something to my pride, right? So then I tried my hand at pimping, females playing games. So what's next up? Drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to do robberies no more. That's too aggressive. So I was like, the only other thing was drugs that could semi-take it slow, even though some people say that's moving too fast. So I moved to Minnesota, get to selling coke, tried my hand at selling meth, but being that I didn't have no major connect fronting me nothing, I started with a low. So then I get caught at the store with some cut. You know what I'm saying? And when you ain't got supreme clientele, cause you just getting started, you gotta tread the water and try to find people. So I'm out there, hey, you want some of this coke? You trying to get some of this, get some of this, get some of this? And at the store, a person made an anonymous call. It said a dude outside the store trying to sell cocaine. I got popped off. Now that we done spoke on all this street shit, how do you feel about the state of the street nowadays? Do you feel they overrated? Do you feel a lot of people just in them for clout? Or you, because from my experience, if you do something 24/7, 365, you either gonna be dead or in jail. You doing it too much. So the police gonna see you all the time and the shooters gonna see you all the time. So if a person tell me that they out here doing a whole bunch and they ain't been locked up a whole lot like that, I wonder how that happened.
So the street's definitely overrated. I can tell you that now. Shit watered down. Niggas ain't got no principles. Niggas don't even know what they doing it for no more. Motherfucker want to make a buck to impress a bitch. That ain't what the shit is all about. You supposed to be trying to do this shit just long enough to get to wherever you trying to go and then move to the legit side or something. You know, if you...
Yeah, they got this saying the game is supposed to be played, not lived. You know what I'm saying? Get in, get out.
Yeah, and what you just referenced to is some real shit. You know, that's what it's saying. You either dead or in jail. You know what I'm saying? That's what this game will probably bring. I ain't never met one successful drug dealer. No, not one. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's been a whole bunch of successful drug dealers, but the end story after they hype is they always get popped off. I ain't heard too many stories of a drug dealer or the certified killers. They notoriety is that didn't go, but it ain't that cool. Just like most of them stories is they spend their life up in jail. It may be a few that beat it on the appeal, but they a rarity. It's mostly niggas. A nigga done killed a gazillion people, and he was a shooter, but he got life in jail. And then at that point, it ain't cool.
So look, let me rewind that. So you saying basically you know a nigga who successfully was selling drugs like a motherfucker throughout the streets their whole life and to successfully at the end say they ain't never got popped off or none of that?
No, I said I ain't met one yet.
Oh, okay.
I ain't heard of one yet.
Yeah, me either.
From El Chapo to Pablo, them the upper echelons, but the hood dudes that you heard was under them, you heard what happened to them, they story either be they dead or in jail.
They're guaranteed. That's the only those I ever seen from. You know what I'm saying? And to say you successfully made it ain't to say that you still live in your one-story family home, still only out of selling this shit for 20 plus years. You only still got what 10,000, 15 to your name because you've been blowing it, doing whatever it is. That ain't successful doing this shit at all. You lived your life doing this shit, but you know what I mean. At the end of the day. Hell, nigga, you a few thousand back off of being broke again.
Or what about these shorties clout chasing with how many bodies they got or how many people they done shot?
Are these YNs?
It's crazy because I thought, and maybe they got something staged or some immunity or something like that. I don't know what's going on, but I thought if a person paying you to go do a shooting, right? You get caught, do your time in jail. You got your time.
Right.
Or what if you doing it out of the love?
Right.
Because some people do it whether it's they guy or a female or a family member, something happened out there in the streets, they go blow something down and then they get the time for it. That's an American ghetto horror story. So I don't know why motherfuckers bragging about this shit now like it's something cool unless they ain't lived that American ghetto horror story.
Man, I mean, first, I think it lead an example by a bunch of these older niggas first. This is why I said the streets is overrated, you know what I'm saying? Some of these older niggas, they feel like they proud to say, I got some shooters. You know what I'm saying? Instead of guiding
they fended them off.
Turn them to a crack dummy, look, making them feel like, shit, I threw my nigga like, you know, $1,000 to just go do some dumb shit.
And Shorty being so conditioned that he might not even know he being sent off, or he been so conditioned that now he like the little praise for being sent off. So he like, fuck it. Ain't got nothing else to lose and everything to gain, whether it's even tools and fuel.
And the other thing is, a lot of these niggas ain't got to choose the street life, but they want to because they feel like it's cool. They feel like fast money is what it is. You know what I mean? What these young niggas don't know is that, like, there's a lot of shit you'll never be able to come back from. You know what I'm saying? Death and jail. You know what I'm saying? Now,
no, you might could come back from jail, but it ain't nothing saying you're gonna be able to get established how you should.
So yeah, let me just elaborate a little bit when I said that you know death or in jail can mess up your life. Thus, yeah, you can go to jail and get back out. You know what I'm saying? But if you done got a motherfucking murder on your record, attempted murder now. Once again, being born at a certain complex, you just made your life 1,000 times hard. You get what I'm saying? You are now perceived and viewed as a dangerous thug like a motherfucker. Might be a slight few who give you a chance where you're going to have to start maybe at the janitor and work your way up, hopefully to the front desk.
Society ain't as forgiving as people like to make it seem. I done seen an old lady, right? Now, I was just getting out the joint. She said she worked for Hy-Vee for 18 years. Due to my background, I met her working at Casey's.
Right.
And she was just a sales assistant then. And she was in her 40s or her late 40s or 50s. And it was one of the saddest things that I've never seen. I'm like, damn, how the fuck she go from that to that? She supposed to either be owning a business or working on something to build her retirement instead of going through this hard labor at this punk ass Casey's job. You see what I'm saying?
So what I also learned is, once again, what you do in life, that shit carry weight on. Now, say I was in that type of situation, right? Got out of jail. Somebody did give me a chance, but I worked my way up just to save up enough money to get my own business going, right? So I invested everything I had to finally get my business going, right? I got the great plan, great layout. and everything. Like this is a solid motherfucking plan, right? But what I didn't bank on was motherfuckers now trying to look up my name and slandering me for my past. Now that they know I was a motherfucker who
seems to be something from the past.
See, you know what I'm saying? So now I done did all these years of work to save all this money, and I done dumped it off into this, and now I can't really take off because of my face. Even though I worked my ass off, and you know, the past life ain't me no more. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker throw my name out there, and then now all of a sudden, oh, he killed somebody or whatever. He tried to shoot up. He's the one who massacred the whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. You know, society never let you live who you once was down when it comes to money a lot of times.
So what you think is the best approach for a young person or old person? Working for somebody or trying to focus on getting them a business established?
I mean,
because I favor entrepreneurship.
Right. Yeah, always, if you ever become your own boss, that's always number one choice. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't born into rich, so we got to start somewhere.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So just remember what's the end goal. Don't work this shit out of comfortability. Like, oh, nah, I've been at this job. You know, my old lady just told me she worked at a woman who said she been at the nursing home working at CNA 25 years, right? Now, need I remind you, when she first probably started 25 years ago, they probably was paying them, maybe a smooth, cool $11 or something like that. Now they done worked them up probably to like 27 because you got a cap. You still got a cap.
You think she got comfortable and content and she didn't want no more, or she just a victim of circumstances and she trying to wait and use that as a stepping stone to build up to something else?
I think she got comfortable. 25 years. Like, unless that's her passion, I'm going to put it that way. Maybe it can be a person's passion, but once again, 25 years, after my 25th year, I better been saved up to go ahead and now, hell, possibly build my own goddamn healthcare staffing agency, some type of shit to now start to become my own boss. Because at some point in age, you know, especially that type of work, that shit wear down on your body. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you work for all this money, but shit, if you got body complications like a motherfucker when you get up in age, how you gonna enjoy this?
That's what I got this desperation for now. I done spent all that time stored away in them human warehouses to where I'm 44. I don't know when my body gonna start failing, so I gotta run it up fast and quick.
Right.
Because Social Security, I ain't gonna have too much up in there because I didn't work no job.
Right.
If a person asked me, would I work a job when I was younger, I would have laughed in their motherfucking face.
Right.
I'm about to sell dope or rob somebody with some money.
Mm-hmm.
But after I kept on bumping my head and wasting years and years and years, and I seen the consequences of that ignorant mind frame, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And now I'm out here like, damn, it's a race against time.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody day coming, we don't know when, but I know my day coming, so I only got a limited amount of time to get established to where before my body fucked up.
Right.
And I can't get myself established.
Right.
Can't do the things that I need to do to ensure that I'm secure at an old age or a senior citizen.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. See, this is what I say to you though, right? You still got the chance to go to school. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit. You know, it's a lot of opportunities in school that, you know what I mean, you certification degrees, you don't necessarily need them, but them bitches help a hell of a lot. You know what I'm saying? I definitely learned that them bitches help a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like I said, you a smart ass dude. You know what I'm saying? So, the sky's the limit.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what
I
I'm
got
saying?
a painting, remodeling, and landscaping LLC.
See?
I got this music thing going.
Right.
I done wrote a book.
Right.
Working on a movie script.
Mm-hmm.
Working jobs. Mm-hmm. Something that I wouldn't never did when I was young and ignorant. Mm-hmm. But I'm doing these things now to try to salvage a fucked up situation.
But the crazy thing is, once you get that motherfucking certification degree and you can lay and say, I got a degree in such, now you held to some type of motherfucking standard. Does you know how to do all this shit without that? Some of the best motherfuckers not do that shit without, the degrees and shit. But once once you get that motherfucking degree, now you are viewed as a certified motherfucker. Some people willing to give you chances. You know
sometimes. Because sometimes your past is stereotype and impression. They can't get past no matter what certification I get or another person get.
Right. And that bounces back to what I was just saying about that working 18 years when, the past can come and hunt you after you done worked all this time and dumped everything into your business. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I definitely understand that. But shit, man, I mean...
Because my thing is this, go to school, but I'm only going to go to school for something I could start my own business in.
Right.
Why get a degree in rocket science just to start as a beginner at somebody else's company?
Right.
At 44, 45 years old, I ain't got the time to be trying to move up in the ranks when I could start off as head honcho and say, okay, well, I'm up, but my business down, so I got to try to bring that up and invest in myself and use all my time and energy towards that versus saying, okay, I'm going to go to somebody else's company, give all this time and energy and dedication, and then might not get nowhere if they don't want to promote me.
Right.
But if they do promote me, never own the company, never own even 25%.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then get fucked up, body go bad, and might be alright or might be in a real fucked up situation.
Right. But see, the thing is, I'm gonna tell you, so right, I used to go to my appointments and shit, right? My heart appointments, right? One of the doctors, right? The practitioners seen me there, whatever. They seen my jacket there. They like, oh, you work for such? Yeah, I work for them. Oh, okay, what you do there? I told them what I do. Oh, you thinking about furthering your career? Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about doing this, what I want to do. Tell them I want to go be a PA or whatever. They like, why you want to just be an NP? I said, because, what I can't do in the field, the pros and cons to it. They like, yeah, you're right. But, with a nurse practitioner, you can actually do it. And I'm like, yeah, but it take this much time, da-da-da-da-da. They like, the one who was working with me, she like, well, truth be told, I didn't become a nurse practitioner until I was 51. Shit. So, that actually, and to be, in a heart clinic, you know what I'm saying? That actually sparks something. Once again, sometimes it ain't all about, what you got. Sometimes it be who you know. You know what I'm saying? Shit, maybe her dad was a prestigious motherfucker in this field and his name hold weight, for a lot of doctors. You know what I mean? So, but just to hear that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? They're saying that it's never too late to really be some shit. That shit ain't no motherfucking lie. You know what I'm saying? No matter how old you is, you know what I mean? Shit, you gonna get accepted by somebody. Somewhere it may not be in this motherfucker. It can be out East Coast. It can be West Coast. Somebody can use it though. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn, you know what I mean? I can't base myself and my life about my environment that I'm in right now.
On another survival essential, what's your credit looking like?
Not the best, not the worst.
You trying to build it up?
At this point, I don't really care.
Why is that?
Because right now, in the near future, I don't really have plans. I'm the type of person. If I get cars, I'm paying cash.
All right, hold on. Let me tell you something.
Right.
America and most businesses, the banking system, which is a bartering system, was built on other people's money. They try to condition us into using our money to pay for everything, but it's better to establish credit and then use the credit to get the things we want. So if something go wrong, you can say, well, I paid you back, or shit, I'm bankrupt.
Right.
Because that's what most people in America do.
Right.
Now, for some reason, in urban America, it get made like the cool thing though. I drop cash on mine, the motherfucker spend all this shoebox money, a life savings, trying to buy a slick car or a fucked up car. Ain't too many people gonna be able to buy a house that's worth something with a whole bunch of cash unless they damn near a millionaire or a kingpin. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it's good for you to get credit and get loans, you know what I'm saying, and use other people's money to further your cause or your agenda.
Right. You know what's one of them things on my credit report?
What's that?
Child support.
Mine too.
Ain't that crazy, mother?
But one thing I am gonna say is this.
What's that?
They don't hold it against you too much.
I mean, maybe I just feel like shit. When I say buy my own shit or whatever, I like to pay cash. The reason being, I pay cash for what I get because I don't like the feeling knowing somebody can come and take something from me. You get what I mean? Like
at least you had it.
Yeah, so like,
or what if you was in a situation for the unfortunate ones, don't have the money to necessarily pay the cash. It's better to have the loss than never had at all.
So I made a way that I can try to have, like you said, I don't give a fuck about the flies or the fashions or the fancies and shit like that. As long as I got something to call mine, I'm happy. You remember when I moved to Oakview, had a studio. It was mine. Had a 96, 97 Monte Carlo. Bitch wasn't the best, but it was mine. If I fell on hard times, I could sleep in that bitch. I can't say nobody could say he fell behind on his payment, so we coming to take his car. If I gotta sleep in Wisconsin, when I went back, I drove my Monte Carlo. I was sleeping in that motherfucker, going to see my kids, going to the hospital, wash myself up. Anytime I'm sleepy or hungry, I go sit in what's mine and comfort myself. You get what I mean? So
I'm got your way. I got mine. We showing people out here different ways.
Right.
They can choose.
Right. Yeah. So I fully understand. Yeah, that's good. We all got different views of everything. You know what I mean? You know, we all handle shit different.
Now switching lanes.
Yeah.
In topics, relationship. How long do you think you have to be with a female to start seriously investing in that relationship?
And boy, I've been in a relationship. Shit, to me, to be true, be told, it ain't really got to be a time. You get what I mean?
Listen. Your man's down there tender than a motherfucker.
It ain't nothing about tender. It's both parties understanding what they really want.
If you don't take the time to understand, how could you understand what y'all really want if y'all just initially met?
Because I know what I wanted as a man. I'm not confused about what I want. You know, if I'm looking to
still take time to get her to understand.
Yeah, but once again,
unless you got a puppet.
No, but
or a blow up dial.
No, what I'm saying about that, if she also, you know, if her thoughts and everything, what she wants is aligning with mine, you know, then okay, we working towards something. I take it serious at that moment if a person tell me that they being serious. Other than that, if I ain't taking a person serious, shit, I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm gonna go continue to do what I do anyway, but I fuck with you from time to time. I wouldn't even consider us in a relationship really. We just fuck off from time to time. We fuck, but
don't put labels on it.
Yeah, but if I know, you know what I'm saying, like we done had talks to, you know, before you give with somebody shit, you gonna talk to them anyway. Y'all understand where each other mind's supposed to be at and everything. So that will kind of make you make the choices you make anyway. You know what I mean? So like any female that I've been with, if she basically, you know, we was talking and about seriousness of relationships, how serious we do take relationships and loyalty and all that other type of shit, I know where to stand with certain people. But if I got this other female, you know what I mean, they can sometime act like, you know what I mean, they is on that type of path, but also you can see them sometimes over there, steady texting on the phone, you know what I mean, I'm finna go be with such. I ain't finna take no shit like that serious. You know what I'm saying? So I assess the situation and I go from there because I don't want to, you know, disappoint nobody when they trying to give me they all.
That's how I am. I'd rather have sex with a female, we kick it, she gonna enjoy the perks of the relationship. It's a committed relationship in the sense that when I'm with her, I'm gonna treat her like a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and since I'm fucking on her, gonna be like a lover, not in love with her, but on the sexual aspect, so she gonna receive the benefits from that. But as far as the stipulations and requirements of having her as my woman or wifey, no, we ain't gonna do that, because if I say it's a serious relationship, I'm gonna take things serious. And some dudes out here, the first week, they act like they got hit by a Cupid and his poisonous arrow in their heart and got the pitter pattering for the female, and they sugar pie, honey bunch, and deeply in love.
And sometimes vice versa. The females do the shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's something I ain't got no understanding though, no.
But you know, hey, I never understood, you know, how people can really be infatuated with somebody, but the shit is real.
No, I got hit with that one time, and they say everybody play the fool sometime, and she was out here like a skeezer, you know what I'm saying? But that showed me something.
But you understand then. You can't say you don't understand when you experienced it.
I don't understand.
You said you felt like you got hit with the
I don't know what came over me.
But still, you experienced it, so you understand. Thus, that ain't, you know, might what you believe in now, but you experienced it. So what we experienced, we can say, shit, I guess I understand what you I mean, I felt it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know, man, but I mean, shit, if we experienced it, I mean, I feel like it should be. I mean, you might not agree with it, but you know what I'm saying? Shit, you came over, had a Cupid arrow hit you before.
Yeah, so, I was out there doing my thing. She was doing her thing, and we was saying we was engaged and all this stuff, but it was a toxic relationship. We was fooling each other and trying to fool ourselves into making and thinking it was something that it wasn't or wasn't even meant to be.
Oh.
Now, I seen her again, right?
Right.
And she said she'll love me always, and that could be true. Because to a certain extent, I got love for her, but I'm not in love with her, and I don't think she was in love with me, and I don't think we was right for each other for a relationship, fucking each other. That's something else.
So correct me if I'm wrong. 09, right?
Right.
You was still in your 20s.
Right.
Right. At that age, none of us got this shit really figured out. You know, we still learning as we go. You know, I had to learn that. I'm still learning right now like a motherfucker.
Life only got a suggestion, but everything is trial and error for the most part, for most people.
Right.
So you right about that?
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, though, I mean, I guess I understand. You know what I mean? All of us want to be loved. That's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody who say they don't want to be loved, shit.
Sometimes you get lonely. Oh.
But you know what I'm saying? So if somebody had the choice to be loved and not to be loved, I don't know too many people that would probably say they don't want to be loved. You know what I'm saying? Shit, if they did, man, I don't know what the fuck came from. But I mean, we all want to feel love. You know, shit, when them curtains, at the end of the night, when them curtains close, you know, it feel good sometimes. We human at the end of the day. No matter how tough a motherfucker may want to be, you know, thugs need love too. That's their thing. Thugs need love too.
That's
shit.
definitely what that says.
So, you know, with that being said, shit, hey, that's why some thugs crash out about some female, you know, they gave them the proper love they needed. You know what I mean? Not what they want, but what they need. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, shit, man. Like I said, with relationship, I mean, shit, it is all about having understanding of what each other wants. Shit, that if you ask me.
All right, moving on to another topic. What you think about the Clip trading James Harden to the Cavaliers?
That was a silly ass move, but you know, I think when they did that,
silly for them, but good for him.
Yeah, I mean, either way it goes, James Harden's still James Harden. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you really put him at, he is still
he got the characteristics of James Harden, but he ain't the Houston Rockets James Harden.
That's you.
I'm wondering if he can ever get back to that.
That's prime. That's prime. I don't know no players who hit prime twice. When you hit your prime and then you decline. I ain't never met one who hit their prime. Not saying that they declined to the point where they wasn't shit, but from their peak form,
that boy got a gift, not a talent. I don't think he lost it. What I think happened was the situation in Houston. He was playing for a contract, so he was showing out. But he came in the game when he was playing for Arizona State. He was a facilitator. You see what I'm saying? His game now, he's still a facilitator, but he turned into the ultimate scorer over there in Houston. And every team he done went to after that, that ain't been the situation. So he went back to this facilitating role.
So what I can say about that is this. Every team has a different system. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that shit's still a business. We brought you here for this purpose. We brought you here for this purpose. Houston brought him there to be that glorified James Harden he was. But the other teams he been on, he had superstars with him. Brooklyn, he had KD and Kyrie. OKC had Kyrie, Russell Westbrook. Clippers, Kawhi Leonard.
OKC, he was slept on, even though they gave him 6 men, but he was slept on there.
Yeah, but Russ was the man. Russ was the man in that motherfucker. Russ was a dog. That nigga was a triple-double machine.
He still is.
Yeah, he is. Russ was a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But once again, when he went to them other teams, they put him in a different system. They didn't need him, OKC, to be the main scorer like you got a motherfucker like Russell Westbrook who can drive that bitch in and score at will, or KD who a motherfucking sniper with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you know, we stayed in Wisconsin for a while, so I still like the Packers. But I was a Brett Favre fan, and Aaron Rodgers grew on me, right? And they were saying he was going to go down as the greatest, but due to injury prone, what you think? How you
still Hall of Fame? He's still going to be Hall of Fame. I don't give a damn how you put it. What? What? Two-time Super Bowl champion, MVP, got records in the book, was once known as the Red Zone King. Right now, to this day, they'll tell you Aaron Rodgers in the red zone, that's a danger zone. You know what I'm saying? He probably score on you. So a man like that, he's still getting this motherfucking jacket. You know
what you think was his problem this season? Wasn't that just passed with the Steelers?
With the Steelers, I mean, once again, you go to different teams, different systems. You got to remember, Rodgers.
Everybody don't fit in their system.
Yeah, so, but the thing is, Rodgers, that was the only team he was with. You know, he was behind Brett Favre. You know what I'm saying? A backup for Favre or whatever. So, the Packers system is all about building their people. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't spend big money on superstars. If you
no, Aaron Rodgers had went to the Jets for a minute, too.
No, after.
Right.
So I'm talking about this is Rodgers' first team, the Packers. He was back up to Brett Favre. He wasn't with no other. Packers drafting him. That's what I said. In the last, what they say in the last 50 years, Packers only had to get draft 4 quarterbacks. They didn't need no other quarter. Every other team that ran through them, we had 4. We had Star, we had Favre, Favre, Rodgers, and now Jordan Love. You know what I'm saying?
Kobe, Jordan, or LeBron?
LeBron.
Why you say that?
I mean, yeah, everybody. I mean, it ain't to take nothing away from nobody. But
statistically, on paper, can't take nothing away from him. He got it statistically. But as far as appealability and look, he ain't got enough finesse game and fluidness to his game to be fucking with a Dwayne Wade or a Kobe Bryant. He looked like a motherfucking robot playing out there.
You talking about the man who got the most points in history right now. You know that, right?
Looking like a robot playing out there.
You can say a robot, but when you mention his name, anybody when he step on the court, he was down. Anytime LeBron down and stuff, that's probably the most feared man on the court. That man was down there the most feared man on the court. How can you call a man like that a robot? Let me ask you. Let me ask you this. Hold on. Let me ask you.
He don't look kind of stiff when he be doing them power dunks and shit. You know how the motherfuckers be doing 360s and coming up under that motherfucker.
You ain't finna tell me you know a 6'9" motherfucker, 260 plus pounds that's just moving like crazy, dunking and shit. No, the nigga was stocky than the motherfucker. You ain't finna tell me another nigga who looks for that doing shit like that. That's a big ass nigga. You get what I'm saying? That nigga big than the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this though. You feel like, let me ask you, if LeBron never went to the Heat, you thought they would have got a championship? With the same team took him out the equation.
With who got a championship?
The Miami Heat. When he went to the Miami Heat and won the championship.
Dwayne Wade was Dwayne Wade before he got there. He got one with
you
Shaq.
Right. He got one in Shaq in 2006.
Right.
So with that being said, years after.
Yeah, could have got another one, but the question is, do you think LeBron would have got one over there in Cleveland?
They did.
When he came back.
Yeah, they did.
I'm saying before he left.
I mean, Kyrie went there. That's the problem. They didn't give LeBron a ride. No, Kyrie went there.
But what I'm saying, you think LeBron would have got one?
Well, Kyrie?
In Cleveland. Without Kyrie.
Without Kyrie, see, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put it like this. They knew in order to bring LeBron back, they had to bring him a ride. So if it wasn't gonna be a Kyrie, it was gonna be another high caliber motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? The only thing that fucked up Dwayne Wade is them injuries. That fucked his legs up. You know what I'm saying? ACL.
One of the best they ever do.
Yeah. And that's when them injuries happened, they started to, you know what I mean? Because niggas scared that wrong step can end it forever. And that's what they don't want. You get what I mean? So I don't blame them and shit.
Now, speaking on injuries, Grant Hill had an injury, and he came back playing better than the average player, right? Penny Hardaway had injuries. He came back playing better than average players. Paul George had a gruesome leg injury. Came back playing better than...
No, he didn't. Not Paul George. Not Paul George.
His average is better than the average NBA player out there right now.
Right now, Paul George probably average. If you look up his average right now, it's probably 10 to 11 points per game.
No.
Yeah, you want me to look it up for you? Watch this. Look. It's somewhere real close in that range. Paul George ain't...
It's in the late... the high teens.
Look, watch this.
20s.
Watch this.
So them exceptional players, that's like Michael Jordan. When he retired and came back, his average, how he was playing was better than...
It's 16. It's 16.
His average was better than the average NBA player, young or old, in the league.
Because Jordan still Jordan. Jordan is still Jordan.
That's what I'm saying. They got a gift. It ain't just
But Jordan didn't have an injury, though. Jordan didn't leave because he...
Right, but what I'm saying is old. Now bringing it back to LeBron, full circle. How many years do you think LeBron got left, and how you think he gonna go out? You think he gonna go out gracefully? You think he gonna get injured? Or you think he just gonna walk away from the game saying, I did all that I could do or wanted to do?
Shit, I think he gonna walk out from saying he did all he can do. Because right now, you gotta look at it on the Lakers. Like at 41 years old, you know, when Austin Reeves ain't on the court, he their second best scorer.
It was nice chopping it up with you, Neff. That concludes our episode of Do You Believe Me?
Yeah.
We told the truth. Do you believe me?
Yes, sir.